Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kym speaking on Wednesday the 19th of August. So looking at the euro dollar to start with here, and well, actually before I do that, let's just look at news due out today. Well, there's not a lot actually. Just looking at the picture here, and we've got OPEC meetings today. Crude oil inventories at 3:30, and then the FOMC meeting minutes at 7 p.m. They've done very little in terms of moving markets of late. We've barely seen any action around those meeting minutes, and the two other factors. Well, the OPEC meetings. There's possibilities. There's thought that these are now monthly meetings as opposed to previously, I think, quarterly, but they just are unlikely to do too much unless the OPEC Plus agree to cut production again. But at this stage, I think the meeting would just fly on there, but we'll see. So we just need to watch out on oil, but on all other aspects there's nothing to do apart from look at the technicals, so let's do that now. Starting off with the euro dollar then, and well, actually I was just having a look at this euro dollar on the daily basis. Let's just get my just want to have a look at it. Yeah, we've got a bit of MACD divergence. I was looking, we've got a bit of RSI divergence, a bit of divergence sort of across there from the prior highs there, but it did dip down quite certainly the RSI had dipped down a long old way here, but maybe a bit of softening, but sometimes you just get that in consolidation and it carries on, so we'll see. But potential softening of the overall move. Coming down to the 4 hourlies though, high lows, high highs through this. Well, we're sitting in a shorter time frame here. We've got consolidation going on at this stage, and if you come back to the hourlies, you can see it a bit clearer. It could be a straightforward trend line break. Look out for today in terms of drawing the trend line across the highs there. See if we get the momentum continue to the upside. At the moment, it's pitching back a bit. I quite like that before 8 o'clock. I don't really want it to break pre-8, so. Yeah, at the moment that's really what I'm looking for. Other than that, if it does sell off some more, again, just waiting for a decent retracement here. We didn't get a decent retracement yesterday, just literally surged on. It just pushed and pushed. Here, if it surges on, well, just looking at, as I say, across that trend line, but it is consolidating. That is to be expected. We saw this consolidation back here. When it pulled back there, and it's most likely to continue. Looking at a bigger scale, just while I'm just looking at euro here, and I'm looking actually on the monthly basis, and for once it's actually looking like it's getting a bit of momentum. I was looking at where next, because you can look at dailies, weeklies, etc., and try and work out where next are we going to see some resistance. That 125 area is looming, in the prior highs that sit around that sort of zone, 125.30-ish. Maybe the next point, if we come down to the weeklies, there's nothing too obvious here. It is the round numbers, the 120 initially, that we should be looking at, because it's a psychological number, and then you're sort of looking back at these sort of areas where we saw peaks before, 120.86, 121, probably some of that region. So it really is looking at the whole numbers at the moment until we sort of start pushing towards these prior highs, in which case they become more significant. Okay, so as I said, that's pretty much the euro at the moment. Could it retrace a lot more? Potentially, yes, but quite unlikely, I think, at this stage. The pound, well, the pound had a decent surge out. It really did break out of this consolidation phase it'd been sitting in yesterday, taking that out, but again just slowing down as we move through into the earlier stage of the morning. It's had its pitch up there. There's been some divergence around that point. Maybe we see the pound pull back, and if we see both the euro and the pound pulling back, well, the target on the pound there, obviously daily pivot 34 moving average, would be quite a decent target on those. The 21 may just stall things, so just be wary of that. It has got support there, and it may be just a more early morning bit of correction here, so we need to tread carefully. Dollar yen, I was looking for the yen to do a half decent retracement again yesterday, but none of these really looked back. Today it's started to come back, but We've had the extremes there on the 4 hourlies, maybe it will pull back to the well, at least the bodies, but the bodies aren't that far away, but maybe back to the lows. Let's just look at the 60-minute there. It's not really extreme there. We've had divergences across these lows up until this low. Well, even that low is, so there's a bit of divergence across these. Maybe we'll see a bit deeper correction occur on these. But really, I'm just my aim really is to trade them with the trend wherever possible. Okay, Aussie dollar, slow but solid movements pushing up through here. Continuation, very spiky at times yesterday there, just pushing through those prior highs and pulling back and then going back up to confirm those. Again, extremes on this sort of 4 hourly time frame. And well, consolidation again is pretty much like the euro pattern in terms of the potential for it to break the highs here and push on upwards, but well, we'll see how it corrects. It is in that sort of triangle sort of pattern that sits at the top there, and it breaks the upside. Well, could see it, as I say, see it running up towards its daily R1. Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar continued the downward route. And well, when you look at it again, consolidation sort of phase where it's sitting there, bit of divergence even across the lows there, but just really consolidating, and it's really a case where maybe it'll just break those lows and continue its push down. If it does start picking up this morning and pushing up, well, the daily pivots are there. As I said, that with all these markets, really, there's the potential of a bit of a correction. So look at oil. Well, it's consolidated. It's been consolidating for some time. Range bound on this 4 hourly quite clearly, and well, the hourly is really just showing that. With the meetings going on today, if you're not in trades, I wouldn't be looking to try and get into trades until that's done and dusted, really. Okay, S&Ps. So let's just come out a little bit here. We still haven't taken out the absolute highs of these prior highs here quite yet. They're pretty close to it. In fact, it might actually on this chart looks like we have, but I think we're just fractionally short of the absolute, but that's quite likely to be done. Again, just slowing, the momentum's slowed out a little, slowed down, but the direction still is, the primary direction is still positively to the upside there. Again, spiky old price action into yesterday afternoon UK time there, but soon recovered and continued. So it really does look like the easiest route on any of these sort of decent retracements is to be looking for the longs. Right, finally gold pushed on, got a shove on yesterday, and started moving. It's back above the 2000 yesterday, just $15 below as I speak here. Just looking here, it's just looking like it might be just softening again at this stage. It's not managed to put in new highs quite yet, but just rolling over a little bit into its 60-minute 50 as I speak here. Not necessarily confirmed too much. These markets do look, as I say, at this stage of the morning a tad soft. This could all change, but they do start changing when we've got break or levels to look for on the euro for sure. Maybe even gold, a trend line across the highs here may be sufficient to look for a break to the upside. But at this moment, it looks like we may just see some corrections back to daily pivots. Even in looking at the euro here, not quite touched its pivot yet, so maybe back to pivot, maybe even beyond and into these key moving averages. Okay, that's it. Very little news, as I said, today, so we're left to technicals. Have a great one. Bye for now.